US President Donald Trump's explosive tariffs on dozens of countries takes effect, including a massive 104% levy on Chinese goods. This has sparked fresh market turmoil. For more now, we're joined by SABC News correspondent Laura Westbrook in Hong Kong. Good afternoon, Laura, and thank you for joining us. Well, there's been tough talk from China, but a glimmer of hope as it calls for talks with the United States over tariffs. How much economic pain can China take before it's forced back to the negotiating table with the United States?
Well, China is very much the outlier among many governments in this part of the world who are trying to negotiate a deal. South Korea and Japan, two of the key US allies, they've had phone calls with President Trump and they are open to negotiating a deal. China, though, not blinking, standing firm, saying that it will continue to fight to the end. And we've also heard from the Chinese Foreign Ministry today, who also said that China would not give in to bullying practices. So that is very much the tone that's coming out of Beijing. We've also heard from Premier Li Qiang, who said that China's economy is resilient enough to withstand the pressure. But having said that, these tariffs now more than 100% on Chinese goods. This is going to have a big impact on China's economy. Its exports has been a bright spot in over last year, especially with those exports to the United States, helping its slowing economy. China is dealing with high youth unemployment as well as a protracted property crisis, and the government is putting measures in place. It wants to stimulate domestic demand to help to mitigate some of the risk that is coming from these tariffs, but obviously that is not going to happen overnight.
Well, as you said just there, the focus on boosting domestic consumption is a fairly credible strategy for the moment, but surely this cannot sustain the economy. And what other options have been put on the table?
Well, China is very much saying that it doesn't want to back down here. It doesn't want to blink first, and that is very much the tone that is coming from Beijing. The Commerce Ministry has also put out a statement in recent days saying that China is very much going to stand firm and will continue to fight to the end. And so for China, but for the impact on China's businesses, its exporters, its people, well, I think there's a lot of concern there. I've also been speaking to people here in Hong Kong, and there is worry that there will be economic pain from these tariffs. Hong Kong is also included in those tariffs on Chinese goods, with the US no longer recognizing Hong Kong as separate from mainland China. Some trade experts have told me that threatens to erase the key advantages of Hong Kong as being a connector between mainland China and the rest of the world. And Hong Kong exporters here are concerned about the impact to their businesses, as well as people I've been speaking to who said they're concerned about the wider implication of this. But of course, Hong Kong is not alone. This is impacting many countries across the region.
Is China looking to boost trade relations with BRICS countries, and which countries are top of their list?
Well, some analysts that I've been speaking to have said that this does present an opportunity for China, and this is also some of the rhetoric we're seeing coming out of Chinese state media in the past few days, with the People's Daily saying this presents a strategic opportunity for China. One analyst I spoke to said this also presents an opportunity for China to deepen its economic ties with countries like the European Union and Japan, which are key allies of the United States. So that is something that China is looking at, and with the United States doing this protectionism, China is trying to present itself as the stable global power, the champion of free trade, as well as multilateralism.
Thanks very much. That was our international SABC News correspondent, Laura Westbrook, in Hong Kong.